Iron Banner.
It's recording in this one. Why have you moved us to the other one?
Because y'all keep moving me.
I'm not moving you.
Somebody is. I'm not.
Oh.
I assumed you were going to handle the show this week and we could take the week off.
Yeah, you do that. I will definitely handle the show.
Come on then, do the intro.
I'm not going to do the intro. I'm just going to handle the show my way. If I don't want an intro, I don't have to have an intro. You can't make me.
You have to have an intro. You need to introduce either the show or yourself.
Negative on both counts. They know who I am.
No,
and if they don't know who I am,
that's not the case. Come on now.
They don't need to be listening to this show.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast, a show where we discuss tips, tricks, and tools to help all Guardians succeed and enjoy playing more. What makes us different? Well, we're not streamers or YouTubers. We just have a passion for Destiny and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 information, news, and opinions. We encourage your questions and feedback. You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com or find us on Twitter at twotitans_hunter, along with the show. Good times. Good times.
Yeah. It's times. I don't know if it's necessarily good times, but it is times. Oh, hold on. Speaking of which, so if you happen to listen to the podcast and you helped me do the raid last night, you're a bunch of scumbags.
Is this our own clan or is this just random liveries?
No. So last night,
what did Knowledge do to you?
No. It's not Knowledge. It was a random group. It was 5 people and they needed one more. Right? They all had the same clan tag, so they were all in the same clan. And then I come and join. Right? And we go through the whole Last Wish raid almost completely fine. We only messed up a couple of times when we were running the heart of Riven, right? That was it. Other than that, it was a near flawless raid. And at the end, whenever we're supposed to open the chests, so we go down the well, we do everything like that, and we're in the key room where the chests are, and they go to orbit. Nobody opens any chests. They just went to orbit. I'm just like, why did y'all go to orbit? And they're like, oh, wait, you wanted to use your key? Well, yeah. So apparently they go in and they get like, they run the raid 3 times to get 3 keys. And then they just open 3 chests at one time. And I was like, this is privy to information or something?
No, we have been over this on the podcast before. That's the way you do it if you want to try and get a better chance at getting the 1,000 voices.
Okay. I still would have been like,
right, but
you know, I was expecting, hey, I'm running up to the chest, and all of a sudden I have a black screen. I'm like, what?
This information would have been important to me yesterday.
Something like that. I was so you guys are scumbags for not telling somebody. Just because I'm the on your team doesn't mean that I psychically know what the hell you're gonna do. All right.
That's kind of rage inducing. You're like, all right, I'm gonna lift the wait, what?
Yeah, so then after that I go back looking for like ribbon checkpoints to just like at least do the ribbon part again and do the hard part again. But no, nobody was doing it. Like the last post after these guys was like an hour and 57 minutes after the fact. I'm like, oh my god.
Oops, sorry, that was the one run for the day.
Right. I gotta go looking for that again today. But I don't know. I was so tilted. I couldn't believe that happened.
That's funny because it didn't happen to me, but terrible that it happened to you.
So freaking bad, man. Whatever. I just had to get off my chest because just because it needed to be said. You guys are scumbags. Whoever you are, you're scumbags.
I can tell you exactly who they were.
Who's that?
They were Usil Deal 8, Slushier Tag 447.
Yeah, that's them.
RPCK88.
And then some fishy guy.
Fisheye Megatron and Aridon. Or
yeah,
Aridon.
No, there's some guy whose name looks like Rock. It's like RPCK or something like that.
Yeah, RPCK88, I said.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
So
yeah, those guys.
Clan spotlight for this week. If you're looking for a clan to do raids, but be aware that you're going to do 3 of them at a time.
But not even at a time. They just all dispersed after that.
They were very upset with you, Respawn. You had 32 deaths. You were the highest number of deaths in that team.
I was. You know, those deaths came from the jumping puzzle, though.
That's
why I know the damn jumping puzzle. During the encounters, I didn't die, but the jumping puzzle kept getting me, man. I was like, oh my
only
God.
17 super kills. Yeah, you see, this is why they decided they were going to take it out on you. 31 grenade kills.
I wasn't supposed to get super kills. I was the tether.
11 melee? No.
Yes.
Only 77 precision. You know, I don't think you're pulling your weight with this team. That's probably
I was
why.
pulling my weight.
No.
I was also doing the most damage in the lobbies when we were doing boss damage. Do your numbers show
No.
that? I don't think so.
Well, I could look that up as well if you like.
Yeah, do it.
Welcome back to Raid Stats Check with Two Titans and a Hunter this week.
Yep.
Where we welcome to your performance review on your last raid attempt.
The only time
take a seat, sir.
The only time I legit messed up in the raid is whenever we were carrying the Heart of Riven, and I had the heart first, and I went into the underworld or whatever, and I was killing ads, and the orb spawned on top of me without me paying attention. So I immediately picked up the orb, which screwed up the timer for everyone, and we had to wipe. And I was like, that sucks. My bad. But yeah. So that was the only time I screwed up.
Well, before you get too excited, I think I should do introductions. Or do you think you want to skip introductions this week?
No, you can do intros.
People guessing.
Welcome us.
I welcome you.
Not
That's
properly.
No.
You have to welcome.
I welcome you. Awkward silence.
My name's Nitedemon. You're Peroty, and the annoying one in the corner is Respawn. That's it.
Hey, wait a second.
Well, there we go. Well, now we have all the introductions you could ever want in your life.
We're that much closer to that centennial episode, huh? Yeah, just that much closer. Where some people might say 41% there. You don't get it.
So this week at Bungie for the 31st of October, 2019.
Halloween. This week at Halloween Bungie, featuring Chad. He dressed up as a knight. It was a very convincing costume. He's just as he was last year.
Yes.
He's just as upset as he was last year, you mean?
I would say that he's a little more.
No, he's more than upset. He is filled with rage. He is like Respawn trying to loot a chest in a raid when his whole fire team goes to orbit. That's the level of rage Chad feels for his everyday life.
Oh my god. No, just no.
Chad sees a guardian and he goes, although Chad's a little different this year because he'll see you and he'll sort of stand back and be like, I know you're there. I see you over there. I'm not gonna murder you yet, but just wait. I will get to you in a moment. You can absolutely have a stare down with Chad. Just don't lose that blinking competition because he's gonna come over and smash you then.
Yeah,
he's fine. He's fine if you don't look at him or if you don't shoot him. You can stand You can stand pretty close to him as he can take fire from any of the other enemies.
He just was teleporting behind me and killing me when I didn't even know he was in the area.
Well, somebody else made him angry.
He teleported.
Although Chad can walk through those doors this year, or at least he can reach through those doors and smack you. I feel like last year, if you were able to get through the door of the next area, Chad wouldn't be able to reach you. This year, he can either reach you or at least he can come through and follow you because we've gotten killed going through those doors
multiple times.
He's real angry.
I did have fun with some of the blueberries. One of them got killed by the door opening the door. And then the other guy decided,
yes,
I'm going to try and res that guy. And I thought, I'm going to jump on this pillar that is above Chad and then over that into the next section and leave you two to keep trying to res each other. And he managed to res him. And then Chad killed the guy as he was trying to res the other guy. I just left them there. And I'm thinking, I'm really sorry, but there is no way I'm going to go and stand there and argue with him. I'm going to carry on. You guys are going to have to respawn and meet me at the other end.
That man's here to see a manager. We are all out of managers. We're moving on now.
And then, how many times have you played with blueberries? I played enough to get the werewolf auto rifle, and literally every time when we got to the end, I let the blueberries go first, and they all fell down in the pit. And I'm like, surely you must have played this more than once. But there is a way to kind of navigate past that. But that was funny.
Nope,
and then when they're down in the pit, I don't think they realised that there was a way out. All I could hear was the Chad Knight just really boom, boom, and then just dying constantly in the pit. I felt so sorry for them. I thought, I've got my loot here. I'm not going down there to try and jump in and try and shoot at you to try and get your attention, to show you there is a hole on the side that you can escape from. No. I was nice in Iron Banner, but I'm not being nice this week. Your stuff will go to the postmaster. Yeah, your stuff will go to the postmaster. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's the habit I have to break for myself, because I see those candies and things on the ground as I'm going, oh, it's a thing I have to pick up. No, those will wait for me in the postmaster. I can move on. I don't need to collect everything. I can just keep running, and it will all show up later. You don't need to grab every last thing. My brain goes, I know it's there.
I know we kind of covered it last week, but we missed out a few bits about the forest, didn't we? With the daemons or the daemon. I don't know what they're called. Daemons. Yeah.
Demons.
The guys that glow in red that you have to kill to open the door to progress to the next level. Something that, I mean, we didn't know it was going to be carrying on exactly the same way. I mean, the forest looks very similar. There's a few more decorations, a few more burning trees and pumpkins.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Chad's still there. The end part is still there. Getting through so many waves or killing so many enemies takes you to a boss that you then have to kill. It's all very similar again. So do apologize that we missed that out last week. But if you come up against a red door, you have to kill all the demons in that area that are glowing red.
Including the one that is hidden behind a pillar where you first came into the area and is going, no, I'm never going to move from this spot. I'm going to sit right here and have you come and find me.
Yeah, and it throws you off, doesn't it, with those red lights that look very similar. It's like, oh, there's a guy. No, there's not a guy hiding around the pillar. It's just a red light behind the pillar. No.
I have taken shots at so many pumpkins in the distance and gone, why am I doing no damage? Oh, it's a pumpkin.
So how far have you guys got with the forest so far?
I don't know. I did it enough to get the werewolf, and then I was doing Crucible, and I just stacking those coins until I got what I think is the god roll of the Raytech werewolf. So
yeah, I think I've gotten the level like to branch 6 a few times. I ran some with blue and some with pan, but most of it with blueberries, and again, just sort of doing enough to get the werewolf, but not stressing out about getting too high level, like Glad's level 16 or whatever, but
I saw that.
Doesn't really matter. But I'm like, I enjoy it. But again, it's because we've already had this activity. It's fine for a while, but it kind of gets real quick.
Oh yeah.
I wish they'd done something more with it.
I do like the fact that they've now added that you can get a Pinnacle reward from it, although that's only going to be for 3 weeks that you could get the Pinnacle reward. And next week it'll be worth you doing it after Thursday, but we'll come on to that later.
Which Pinnacle reward?
You just get a Pinnacle engram drop, so it's a higher powered one.
Oh, okay.
950, it'll drop higher than 950.
I didn't pay attention.
So if you clear 9 waves, you can earn a Pinnacle reward. And what I found quite interesting this year was last year there was quite a few people that kind of tried to get through as many branches as they could. There was the Glads, the Esoterics, and they were getting up to like 16, 17, 18 waves. And then even doing it solo up to about 13 waves, I believe. And there was a lot of guides of how to get to branch 7, which is where you could get the secret engram. But this year, there doesn't seem to be that many guides I couldn't actually find a specific guide or a video to kind of help people.
Well, you had the MTash, this is my loadout, which is like 1K voices mountaintop or some ridiculousness.
Yeah, but it's not for the average player. And
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
And then I believe Blue Screen in the chat, our clan chat was saying, he'll wait till I say something in the podcast about what to run with. And somebody else mentioned the Rick Kakis video.
You need 1,000 voices?
No.
You need the freaking the submachine gun. Recluse? Yeah, you need all that stuff.
No, you don't.
You need all of it.
You really don't. Really,
you need all of it.
The other day I was running with Blue, and he was running one of the I don't know which Titan build it was specifically. One of the Void Titan builds with the grenades, and honestly, we would get to a boss. He would pop a bubble. We'd step in the bubble, step out of the bubble. He and I both had the oppressive darkness on the grenades. Chuck 2 grenades at the boss. We get like 60-something% damage, boost from between the bubble and the grenade, and then just go to town with heavy and whatever else. We had a third guy with us for a while, just a blueberry, who was running just a void and a void titan as well. So he would just go to town with his shield. We'd pour heavy and just melt the bosses really quickly and just hold those bubbles to the bosses.
There was an interesting video by I think it was Rick Kakis that said basically his guide was all you need is the Thunderlord and you can get to wave 9 or plus very easily. And I was thinking, is it just the Thunderlord, or is it the fact that you are with a group of people that you're communicating with? I know heavy drops from literally everything if you've got the mods on it. So I went away and kind of had to think about it, because last year there was a lot of tips and tricks that were how to get through plus level 7.
Mhm.
So the main thing is to go in as a 3-man team so that you can communicate and you've got coordination between yourselves, because it is going to take teamwork. If you want to get that Pinnacle Reward, you could probably get it with blueberries. I'm not saying that you couldn't, but I would say you'd have more of a chance if you are communicating and talking with your team. And I believe last year, one of the best tips was to run one of each mod on their helmet. So you've got the Vampiric Touch, you've got the Energetic Assassin, and you've got the Higher Purpose. So the Higher Purpose is all enemies take a lot of damage from you, and you get air resistance. And then your Vampiric Touch is challenging enemies, so that's your demons and your yellow bars take more damage, and you get precision health kill. So if you get a precision kill, you get health regen. And then the Energetic Assassin is you give more damage to the terrors, but on precision kills you get your grenade and your melee back, which would then help with like Void Titans and things like that. So if one person is running one of each, you can kind of then work out in your team who's going to go and do what. So the best thing I think from last year was the guys that had the energetic, which was the terrors damage, the main terror damage. Their main focus, run ahead and open the doors. And then when you come up against the demon section, they would then start clearing the demon section, while the other two would slowly make their way through, clearing all the other enemies until they got to you. Then you'd open doors. I mean, some teams were overlapping 2 teammates. So like one person would stay and open a door. The next person would then run ahead and you'd clear as you went through. The Higher Purpose and the vampires do the main killing. Don't stop or go back to collect the candy, because the candy will automatically go to your postmaster. I wouldn't try and stop or go off on the different paths to get the secret coins either. If you're going to try and go for the 9+ runs, that's not worth it. If you're going to just go in and farm for the coins, that's fine. There's secret routes that you can take to open extra chests to get more coins. But if you're doing other activities with the masks on in the open world, you can still just get the chocolate coins to drop. And I believe it's only up to like between 2 and 5 that you get from those extra chests in the forest.
Yeah, it's not anything really worth farming for. If you're going to farm coins, there's much easier ways to do that. Cough, momentum control, cough.
If your teammate goes down, res them. If you're in a kind of safe position, if you're not near a Chad, kill the waves of enemies, then res your teammate, because it's a lot easier for your teammate to be with you and run on ahead with you rather than respawn at the beginning and then run all the way to the other guy are. With the boss, the best thing to do is the vampire and the energetic focus on the boss. With the guy using the Higher Purpose, using heavy and super to start off with on the boss, and then if need be, then start clearing ads to help the other two. But by then, you should have kind of got the boss over and done with. They get harder and harder as you get through each wave. So, when you start off, you might find that you melt the boss in seconds. As you get to wave 8, 9, and 10 kind of thing, it's going to get harder and harder. So store up your heavy and work together as a team that way. All DPS the boss at once to start off with. Then the one guy focus then on the ads to help the other two. And just communicate with that. The other thing that they did last year, I believe it was Esoteric and Glad and that lot, when they were trying to get as many branches clear as possible, they would wait in between the branches. So rather than jump straight onto the plate, they would wait, charge up their supers, and then all run in there with supers. So you'd have the first guy pop their super, clear as many waves as you can. Then the next guy would have opened the next door. Then he would then go into that room, and then the other guy would then leapfrog, and you'd be picking up orbs on the way, so that by the time you got to the boss, you'd have, or at least 2 people would have supers again. And with the specs that you can now get with the different builds that we've highlighted over the last couple of weeks, it's a lot easier to kind of spec into, throwing out grenades to then get your energy back, with the Void Doomfang pauldrons that you can with the Titan, with the melees, and getting your super back really, really fast in 20 seconds that we spotlighted last week. So it's kind of just making sure that if you're near a super, wait. The timer doesn't go down in that waiting area when you are waiting to stand on the platform. So it's if you're going to try and do the 9+ waves, then wait in that area, build up your supers, and then go to town. Also, if you're in that kind of waiting area, if something's not working for you, like weapons or a loadout, that's the time to change, or to pay attention to the modifiers as well, because you might have a build that is suitable for the modifiers that are coming up. I mean, there's a lot of blackouts, there's a lot of chafe and things like that.
Back
and
in this
glass
mode, by the way.
Things like that. You can spec your build to it. You may want to be a long distance kind of killing machine, or you want to be up front with your huckleberries, your risk runners, your punching, throwing out grenades. So pay attention to the modifiers and communicate with your team of who's going to be doing what as you go into that branch. And again, like I mentioned, use the builds that we've highlighted over the last couple of weeks. You've got your Storm Callers with your Crown of Tempest to do a lot of ad clearing. The Doomfang Pauldrons with the 20-minute super charge up. Oh, 20 second. Yeah, I did say 20 second, didn't I? Yeah, 20 second.
No, you said 20 minute, but
I thought I said 20 minutes. Yeah, the 20-second super charge up with your melees, your Doomfang Pauldrons, and your Monte Carlos. Arc Striders with their Liar's Handshake, meleeing, dodging, and that's building up supers and getting orbs for other people as you're going through. So there's a lot of builds that are out there. And I mean, I mentioned a couple of the weapons. Risk Runner's quite good, especially if you're taking arc damage from some of those Boomer Knights in there. You've got your Huckleberry, so if you get a kill, it instantly reloads if you've got the Masterwork on there. You've got your Recluse. Another one is Sweet Business with the Action
So actually,
Warriors.
I do have a question, right? And this is kind of a stupid question. In our builds, did we have somebody that discussed how to utilize actually stand by.
2 hours later.
Let me put it to you like this, right? So I came up with a build, and I don't know if I actually came up with it or if I inherently absorbed it whenever we were talking in the podcast.
So did you come up with the build or not? I can't make a statement like that.
I came up with it. But I don't know if it was me or if I was remembering things that we discussed, right? As far as I can tell, I came up with it, right? And I was
okay. In your world, you came up with this build. Okay,
right.
let's go.
But
let's go over this.
That's why I proceeded with asking, hey, just in case maybe I didn't.
Well, we don't know. You haven't given us any details,
okay,
so give us the details,
here we go,
and then I'll know.
So it's a little bit of an investment, right? So you use Bottom Tree Night Stalker, like we discussed, right?
Right.
And then, as usual, you use the Recluse with anti-barrier rounds, or you could also use an auto rifle or another machine gun or submachine gun with anti-barrier rounds. After that, what I do is I put on ballistic combo and breach refractor on my chest piece, and I put on oppressive darkness on my hood, right? And basically, I always have a grenade to weaken enemies. I always have a melee to make myself and my crew invisible to increase our stability, handling, whatever, right? And with me always having grenades and melees up, I inherently get my super back faster because of just all the ads I'm killing so quickly, right? And right. So in doing that, I feel as though I am a monster whenever I come up against things. And last night I did the Pit of Heresy with 2 of our clanmates, and it was easy as hell. And I told them what I was doing, and they're like, damn, I got to try that. So that's why I'm thinking we didn't discuss it in our last podcast. Either that or the 2 guys that are in our clan didn't listen to it. Either one is possible. But basically,
this is the first time that we've heard of your build.
Okay. So, like I said, any submachine gun with anti-barrier rounds, Recluse works best, or any auto rifle with anti-barrier rounds. You couple that with a chest piece that has both ballistic combo and breach refractor. Because when you kill things with anti-barrier rounds, it gives you your grenade and your melee back at the same time. And with Bottom Tree, whenever you use your melee, it gives you back like a 4th or a 5th of your grenade even faster, right? So it double feeds into your grenades when you do this. And then with the Oppressive Darkness, anything you hit with your grenade has a weaken effect for 6 seconds. And then by the time that weaken effect is over, if you're killing enough ads, you'll already have your grenade back anyway, right? So it's a boss melter. It helps you stay alive because you can constantly go invis with your grenade. You got your super a lot, And it's an all-around good build, I think. And that's what I've been using. And I've had success in PvE, in PvP, in the Pit of Heresy, in the freaking Forest, although I haven't got to rank 9 because I don't care. And in Orpheus Rigs, obviously. Sorry, that's important too, Orpheus Rigs. So that's what I've been using a lot. Now that I have the mountaintop, whenever I weaken something with the darkness, the oppressive grenade or whatever, 2 shots with a mountaintop and it's usually dead. Any yellow bar enemy with the exception of bosses. And it's an ad clearing build machine, you know? So if you haven't tried it, I suggest you try it. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of survivability and I'm very deadly. So just something to look into if you're a hunter main.
Cool. Thank you for that.
Nice.
So just going back on the weapons, like Respawn was saying about the anti-barrier rounds, there's something to consider when you're putting your build together. You've also got the weapon mods that you can look out for. So you've got your multi-kill clip, you've got your rampage, you've got your kill clip, you've got your demolitionist. So if you want to throw more grenades and, you know, you pop a couple of headshots with a hand cannon that's got demolitionist on it, you know, get your grenades back quicker, throw out more grenades. As Shaq says, throw more grenades. It's all going to help. And then finally, with the heavies, I mean, I think as Kakis was right, machine guns were the way to go because you've got a lot of ammo in reserve and they can put out a lot of damage as long as you've got the right ones. I used the 21% delirium on the boss melting section, but I made sure that I shot a couple of the ads that were in that boss room at the end so that I could get the 3 times stack to then take down the boss. Also, with the heavy dropping constantly, you know, run over a brick after I've shot a couple of the ads in that final section so that it then keeps proccing the damage and keeps proccing the reload of that weapon. So if you've got a 21% delirium, it may be something that you could use to your advantage. You've also got the hammerheads, which are quite good still. Thunderlord, as Kakis pointed out. And then you've got your grenade launchers. So don't forget your grenade launchers that put out a hell of a lot of damage, especially the ones that we've recommended and everybody's recommended with the spike grenades over the last couple of weeks and couple of months.
Particularly the Swarm of the Raven is particularly good. And if you don't have the Swarm of the Raven, and you don't have anything else with spike grenades, your Prospector is the very best second place you can get.
Or your Wendigo. Mm-hmm. You could go with the Wendigo if you've got that one.
Yeah. But the Wendigo is only good for the first 6 shots. After that, you're kind of boned. And the Wendigo also affects the orbs lying around. If you accidentally pick up orbs when your super's already full and you already have 6 shots of Wendigo, you've just wasted all of those orbs. So you're right. Wendigo is phenomenal for the first 6 shots, but then what?
You shouldn't need more than 6 shots. The ball should be dead by that point because you've buffed yourself with a bubble and everything else.
Yeah. So, I think the main thing to take away from it is teamwork going in a 3 and a lot of communication, because it may take you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attempts, but as long as you kind of try and work at it as a team, find out where your flaws are, because I believe the branches pretty much stay the same from the modifiers that they put on at each wave. So I didn't write them down. I do apologize. But I believe that they are the same for each kind of wave. So when you get to wave 5, it will be the same like glass for the whole thing. And then the next wave will be glass and chaff or something like that. Because sometimes they do double stack as you go up higher and higher. So that's my only kind of things that I could think of from last year that might help this year in anybody getting to the 9 waves.
I'll have to spend some time actually, doing that this week because getting to our next topic, I have been living all day, every day in momentum control, and
because why not? Sorry.
And and honestly, and I don't remember if it was DMG or Cosmo last week saying, hey, we're worried about the heavy, worried about supers. No, like everything. Props to the multitude of warlocks I have seen running this week with misfits mowing down like 4 people in a row. Like I'm sitting in a group with my 4 teammates and just getting mowed down by a dude with a misfit. Just like, hi, I got a misfit, and you're all dead.
You don't have to reload.
Without having to reload. No, exactly. Like when they said every gun in your arsenal is a contender, they're not wrong. The misfits out there murdering people. Really, I've been using it this week for 2 things. Randy's throwing knife with the Jade Rabbit because it's a scout. It's a 1-tap scout rifle most of the time. And there have been a ton of people running around with fighting lions trying to get their mountaintops done. So if you're working on either of those quests, it's an ideal, or really anything that you can do in non-competitive quick play-ish Crucible, it's phenomenal because it's so fast and it's so mad, and it's like Trials in a way that you stick your head out somewhere and you get sniped, but you're back in the game immediately and there's no radar. So the guy that just sniped you, you can, he's probably still camping where he was. You can walk up behind him and shoot him or punch him right in the back of the head. The fact that there's no radar, I thought in this would be really maddening and really irritating. But it is like it's maddening in that way that it makes it hilarious and fun. Because you're like, okay, you just murdered me. I can now walk up and murder you. I suppose if you're good, you can stick, string together some kill streaks and get some of that going. I usually last maybe a death or two, unless I'm just sitting hard scoping with a Jade Rabbit going, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. But really, it's so much fun because you're not gonna survive. People are gonna spawn behind you. You're gonna be shotgunned from behind or meleeed, and yeah, a melee is a one-shot kill for everything. You walk up to someone, no shoulder charge, no rush, just boom, I punch you, you're dead. So it's like Mayhem without the supers, because most supers even haven't really been an issue. Like I've seen, like Spectral Blades and Striker Titans are pretty decent. Beyond that, I haven't seen a whole lot of people even using their supers because there's just not really a reason to do so. With every gun so powerful, it almost makes your super unnecessary. Although it shouldn't have been controlled because, let's be honest, no one is capturing the zones. There is no control of any zones in this game. It is only one-shot kills. So that's my gushing review for the week.
Well, it should be control. And the reason it should be control is because that's how it's encouraging people to meet up and shoot. With no radar, who knows how many people would just be sitting back and sniping in the same spot the entire game.
Let me tell you, 4 to 6 people on every team. Because in half the games, one team sits at A, one team sits at C, and about half the team goes and engages. The other half the team, you just see them sitting back with their scout rifles or whatever. Again, it's all scout rifles. I mean, you've got the guys jumping up at you with the grenade launchers, but mostly it's scout rifles. And Jade Rabbit, I mean, really, honestly, any scout rifle you have will be great. But the Jade Rabbit, far and away, has been the thing I've seen most and the thing I started using. I went from Mida, went from Skyburners. I was still on a Jade Rabbit because I don't have a great.
The Randy Stone Knife is not actually very good in this mode because it takes too many shots to kill, and you don't have the flinch like you do with the Mida, right? So you'll tag him 2 times, right? But that third hit that you need, you're dead. Unless you get the jump and he doesn't turn on you, you're not going to win with the Randy's throwing knife. So even though it's a phenomenal pulse rifle, it's not phenomenal in this particular game.
Scout rifle.
Scout rifle. Yeah. That thing.
Which is good because I don't have it yet. And that's honestly, that's the only reason I'm using these. It makes me sad that I can't run around with my gnawing hunger and murder everybody. Because again, auto rifles are ridiculously powerful in this too. Mm-hmm. Props again to everyone running around with a Misfit. Anything that fast fires, you can gun people down with a Recluse with an auto rifle if you play it right. It's ridiculous. The Blue Perfect
is amazing because it's like a 1, maybe 2 shot kill with the Blue Perfect auto rifle. Same thing with the Halifans. I was killed by a lot of Halifan D. Halifan, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one.
Halfdan D.
Yeah, a lot of those are running around too because it's great, man. The high impact auto rifles are just
because that was a good one before, and I've got a break. Poor Blue Screen. He's been trying to farm for a decent Braytech Werewolf all week, and I finished the quest with him. Got my curated one, and then turned in like 2 other bounties. Got 2 other ones. One of them has an Outlaw kill clip roll, and I was like, okay, I'm done now. We're good with an extended mag and arrowhead break. I'm like, okay, I'm done. We're good. I'm gonna step away and just use this with the range masterwork on. I'm like, okay, we're good here.
The one that I'm rocking is Outlaw, kill clip, ricochet rounds with a range masterwork. And I was like, yep, I'm done.
Don't need any more of these. What am I getting these candies for? Yeah. And again, if you're trying to farm for candies, it's, again, I didn't write it down, but I think it's something like 2 or 3 strange, chocolate strange coins after every match. Mm-hmm. And then like on every kill, you're getting like 4 candies.
If you win or lose, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but again, the games, like you play the 200 points, but the games feel fast. Some of
they are
quick like Crucible matches, like it feels slower. But the game, again, with the quick respawns and the quick timing, it just like there's no downtime. There's 0 downtime in this. You're always running around trying not to get spawn sniped or run over or whatever. But it's great.
Right. And you either mercied or you get a mercy. I'm sorry, you either mercy or you get mercied so quick in this game mode. It's like 30 seconds into the game. All right, I'm calling it. Wait, what? Huh? You look at the score, it's like 130-20. It's like, oh.
Your team didn't even try to capture a zone. I can tell.
Right? But on a side note, it's also phenomenally good for getting any of the Crucible related Crucible related
everything's.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about like the damn catalyst. That's the word. Crucible related catalyst.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I finished a Jade Rabbit. I finished my freaking Suros regime, and I'm almost done with my freaking the 5-round pulse rifle. Vigilance Wing. Yeah. Almost done with all of those in like a week, man. Not even. And I haven't even been playing every day. And it's so good to get those things. So if you're sleeping on that, if you're like, holy crap, I've got one of those catalysts, I should work on it. Yes, you should. Immediately.
Yeah, bring it in there. You can get a dozen or more kills every single game and be done with it super fast. I've finished all those, so I'll take your word for it. But but people have been working on all sorts of things in there this week. If you've been waiting on anything to get Crucible done, and if you don't enjoy Crucible, this is so fast and without the radar, it's like it levels the playing field in a lot of ways. They say it's an emphasis on gunplay and but really it's an emphasis on try not to get shot in the face.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought the no radar would be a huge disadvantage, and it is to everyone. So it's great. I mean, no matter what your playstyle is.
Not everyone. If you're a hunter that has a middle tree stalker, or if you're a one-eyed titan, you still know where people are. So we might not have a radar, but we have wall hacks and tracking. You
know where one of the 6 people on the other team are. The other one that's going to snipe you. I can't tell you the number of times I've engaged one guy.
If you're a hunter, you get wall hacks for like I can't remember how many seconds. You see where everybody is.
There's still a guy behind you that's going to snipe you in the head with a scout rifle. Yeah, I can't tell you the number of times this week.
I'm just saying that those two classes, or not classes, those two subclasses with their abilities and or exotics have knowledge that nobody else has on the field.
Yeah, so, that's somewhat useful.
Yeah,
because again, it really does feel like playing Trials, where you stick your head out and you're getting sniped. Only it's from a scout rifle or a misfit or insert name of gun here, as opposed to an actual sniper rifle. I've seen very few actual sniper rifles because there's just no point. The time it takes you to line up your shot, someone else has already killed the person with a scout.
This is the first time I think I'm actually proud of Bungie, because the other day on the other podcast, we were talking about why I don't like Crucible, and it's how it's not realistic and takes too many shots to kill somebody when you shoot them in the head. And this to me is right up my alley. I was so proud of Bungie. It's like, yes, this is the game mode of Crucible that I enjoy. And I really did. This is the first Crucible that I've actually had fun in, genuine fun. And it's just,
it's really good. And then this, I know I meant to look this up before. This is not a time limited thing. Like they've introduced this to the game full stop. This is not a Festival of the Lost time related one, right? This is something
that is on a rotation.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they'll add to the rotation again, which is fine. I'm happy to have it in the rotation. Because again, you put it in full time, people get burned out of it, no one will be playing anymore. I'm happy to have it in the rotation with Iron Banner and with Iron Banner and Mayhem and stuff. So I'm happy to have it as an option. Again, if nothing else, you need to go work on a catalyst, or you're trying to finish up some quest, jump in there for the week, and it's great. I love it.
It's so much fun. So much fun. Anyway.
Have you stepped foot into it
there?
Demon's
been awfully quiet.
Yeah, basically, I haven't had a chance to jump into momentum control. Played only a little bit of the Haunted Forest because I spent a lot of time home with the kids this week because it's half-term break.
Half-term break.
I haven't had a chance to play as much as I'd like. So apart from watching a lot of YouTube videos and a little bit of the Haunted Forest, no, I haven't. But then, like you guys were saying, it's a good time to get your catalyst done. So a lot of people were doing the Jade Rabbit Catalyst.
The Jade Raid. No, that's a good name. The Jade Raid. That's accurate.
Yeah, the Jade Raid.
Yeah, that's
people are doing the Jade.
That's what it is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Jade Rabbit Catalyst, along with the kills for the Randy's. Along with the Randy's throwing knife, because it's easier to get the scout rifle kills in Crucible in the momentum control. Mm-hmm. And there was a couple of other catalysts that have been mentioned, but it's the 150 archetype scout rifles that you want to look out for. So they are the cut and run, the Polaris Lance, the Imperative, the Transfiguration, the Does Not Compute, and the Jade Rabbit. So they're the 150s that are a one-shot headshot kill.
Yeah, and honestly, the easiest one of those to get if you don't have one, Vex Offensive. If you step into it, they'll hand you like 6 imperatives. So if you don't have a decent one, that's the easiest one to farm for by far. And Iron Banner's coming out next week. So if you're looking for, anything, is it Talons of the Eagle? Is that the Scout or is that the Pulse? I have to look.
Talons. Yeah.
Talons Eagle is a Scout.
I've seen a lot of those too.
It feels weird when you use it.
Yeah, I've got one that's just. I mean, it's not a great roll on it. It's like full auto and rampage, which is fine, but it's not great. So, but I've definitely been killed. I'm trying to sort of keep track of what am I being killed by this week that maybe I haven't seen in a while. But yeah,
I just got the Monte Carlo. Sorry.
Good job, buddy. Welcome back to a couple weeks ago when some of us have had it because
I've been trying to get it the whole time. No, I've got like 13 exotics this week, and I can't get a Monte Carlo until I just now finished this stupid freaking strike.
Good
Whatever,
job, buddy. You did it. We're all very proud of you.
I'm very proud of you.
So, Pit of Heresy. I see it's there. I haven't set foot into it. I see everyone and their brother has made a guide for it so far.
Let's not.
Although actually,
let's not spoil it for anybody though.
Yeah, actually, before we move on, I do want to mention one quick thing. If you stepped into momentum control this week as a hammer titan and you're like, I'm going to pop my super and I'm going to throw a hammer and then I can't throw another hammer. I'm going to run around awkwardly with this hammer in my hand and hold it up to the hunter's face and go, look, it's a hammer. I could kill you with this.
Look what I got. But
I can't. So Bungie did acknowledge day one there is a bug that I have not seen a fix for yet. So if you're running a hammer titan in momentum control,
shame on you.
Don't do that. So yeah, if you're running either top tree or bottom tree, I don't know about Burning Maul. I assume that works because it doesn't involve throwing anything, but I haven't tested it.
It does
work. Okay.
Can verify.
Okay, yeah. Again, I've seen so few supers, but yeah, if you're running around as a top or bottom tree hammer titan, you cannot throw a second hammer. You can throw one hammer in your super, and that's it. Which I encountered day one and was very confused. I was like, did I miss something? Was there something? Because they said no, supers aren't that great. I'm like, did I miss the fact that you're like nerfing supers into the ground in this mode? No, it's a bug. So if you've also run around going, what is happening with my hammers? They're broken. Bungie's aware of it. They're working on a fix. Run something else for now. Put a bubble up, stand in there, and just dance to people. It's more fun anyway.
So I do believe that momentum control is going to be around for the next two weeks, isn't it? So the length of Festival of the Lost, it was going to be for 3 weeks in total. So you've got another 2 weeks. But then, as you said, Iron Banner's coming up, which is going to throw a spanner in the works for anybody that wants to do momentum control. Because you have to play Iron Banner.
There'll still be a couple people in momentum control. It's way too fun not to. So yeah, so Pit of Heresy, it's a dungeon. I've heard good things. I've heard a bunch of people on Twitter are just saying, hey, sort of go into it blind. It's not that big a deal. The moon is sort of, like Bungie likes to do, the moon has sort of trained you for what kind of things to look for and what sort of puzzles to solve. Again, haven't set foot into it. Don't know really anything about it. I've purposely sort of not watched any of the guides, but it seems like people are really enjoying it. It seems a little more accessible than Shattered Throne. Like you're able to sort of get through it, without being a PvE god. Yeah, the Pit of Heresy.
It's actually not that difficult. I'm not trying to downplay it. That's what I've heard. Yeah. It's not that difficult to do.
Right. That's what I've heard. Like Shattered Throne is pretty rough. I mean, we can get through it now with being highlight level. Nitedemon and I have two-maned it a couple times, and he's soloed it, I think, at least once. Yeah, and yeah, I mean,
flawless, but once.
Yeah, so is Pit of Heresy sort of the Crota's end of dungeons? You can sort of get through it and it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, once you know the mechanics of it, because like at first I didn't know the mechanics until they explained it to me. You have to do A to kill the wizard, you have to do B to kill the knight, you have to do C to kill the freaking void eyeball, right? Once you know those things, the rest is easy. Have a few high-powered weapons for the different bosses that you'll encounter, but other than that, Bob's your uncle. You get a freaking piece of curated, powerful gear. I'm sorry, pinnacle gear at the end of it, once a week per character.
And that's from the boss fight, isn't it? The final boss fight.
Mm-hmm. Let me say again, curated pinnacle. So not only is it pinnacle, but it also comes fully masterworked. So definitely worth doing on each character every week.
Nice. And I've heard on a couple of the other podcasts that it's going to be a stage of they're going to open it up and it's going to get harder and harder. There's going to be different tiers that you can do, because they're saying at the moment there's no overload champions. There's no like any kind of those kind of bosses in there at the moment. Mm-hmm. So what they're thinking is, as they open up more and more modes for it over the time, then they're going to drop in extra champions and extra things that you can do in there. And maybe the Pinnacle Rewards will be stepped up to maybe 3 the higher you go. So that's quite interesting if that does happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Because this kind of low end one is a way for you to kind of get into it, learn how the mechanics work. And as a lot of people have been doing it solo. And then ramping up the difficulty, you think, right, now we've got a challenge. But you get a good reward for it.
I like that a lot too. If they do follow through with it, I like that as a mechanic to make things harder. Not so much changing it totally or giving you new bosses, but just saying, hey, we're adding more bits and pieces of this. So, yeah, so I look forward to jumping in that this week. I want to again find a fire team and go in with, and we'll is it match made or is it not? I'm assuming it's not.
I went in with 2 of our clanmates, so I don't know.
Okay, I mean, I'm assuming it's not match made, but again, I haven't even looked at it. I mean, I figured Shattered Throne wasn't, so I'm assuming this isn't either.
No, I don't think it is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess which makes sense if people are doing it solo, they can. I finished my solo run. Oh, to be able to just join. No. That's what we're here for: asking questions and then answering them immediately.
Yes. Bungie did say that they were aware there is a bug that is instantly killing people when they go through a phase of going from one area to another, which is affecting some of the solo runs. So they are aware of it.
Oh, no. I was just thinking,
so if you instantly just drop dead from going from one area to the next,
oh no,
you've hit a bug. Apparently, it's more prevalent on PC, but it is still happening on console.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh,
what killed you?
That happens to you.
This doorway was overpowered. Please nerf.
Sir. It's called Misadventure.
Yep, the Architects, the most powerful enemy in all the game.
Oh my god, yes.
All right.
So the Xenophage.
Yeah, which I also don't have. I've heard it's not that great. I did see Bungie confirm there is a bug with it.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I thought that there was a bug in it, not a bug with it.
Well, there's a bug in it. There's a bug with it.
They have to be specific about these bugs these days,
right? Exactly. And everything is absolutely bugged. They're like, the gun's not working how it should because.
Is it the fact that the bug in the gun isn't working properly? Is that the bug that they're referring to?
The bug inside the bug.
It could be. Although I do want to jump down to Cosmo did confirm the fact that Xenophage does not do precision damage is not a bug and by design. However, the weapon is, they say, unintentionally underperforming, and they're currently investigating it.
I think what confused a lot of people with that is when they revealed the Xenophage and they did like testing, some of the YouTubers went and did some of the playthrough, that it was doing the critical damage. And now they've released it to everybody and they've scaled it back. It just does.
Decided not
I think it's explosive damage. Yeah, I think it does explosive damage. So it does some kind of extra damage to whatever you're shooting, which is why they have taken off the crit damage, and it's confused a lot of people.
Interesting. Yeah, again, I don't haven't even started the quest for it, so can't talk about it.
No, I can't either.
I knew Respawn had it at least, so we'd have at least a third of us had some sort of experience with it. But
no, I didn't, specifically because I felt that it wasn't worth it. Once I saw the YouTubers giving all their feedback on it, I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of looked at it going, it's a 13-round magazine machine gun. Yeah. Okay. I mean, even if those 13 rounds packs a punch, it's kind of like,
even if you have max reserves, you can only have the 13-round magazine, and I think they said 24 in reserve. I think is the highest they got it up to with all the machine gun reserve, even using year 1 armor. Like they had the most that they can get, and I think they had 13 plus 24, and that was it.
Yeah, I've seen some of the damage in Crucible, and you'd think with a weapon like that would be a one-hit body shot.
No,
nope. You get 3 in the magazine, don't you, from picking up a heavy brick?
Correct.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so I mean, I guess we'll have to see what sort of underperforming it's doing and how it performs once they overperform it again. But Yeah, I hadn't seen a lot of people, praising it as something to really go after. I mean, I will, because I have to catch them all, just like Pokemon. I need every single gun in the game so they can sit in my vault, and then I can continue to connect them, and then that's that.
I gotta catch them all. Whatever. I'm very disappointed. I know I've already said that, but it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't. Either re-enable crate, which would make it worth it. I don't want to say, a lot of the YouTubers are saying if we had more rounds, that would probably be okay. But I don't even think that's worth it. The damage output significantly needs to change. That's what I think. So enable critical hits to let us have that damage output, or just increase the damage of the rounds themselves, the explosive rounds. Then it would be worth it. But as it is now, I mean, everything else in my arsenal is better than that gun. I mean, a handgun is better than that gun with explosive rounds, in my opinion. Am I wrong? Absolutely. Do I care? Not really. So that's how I see it. Just fix it, Bungie. Fix your stuff. Why is it so hard? Why you got to make this overly complicated?
They're working on it.
Because the bug they shipped it with isn't working correctly.
Yeah.
Well,
they gave it one bug.
They didn't ship it. That's your girl.
Additional
What's her name? The Triclops. She's the one that did it. It's her fault. What? She's the one that bug inside of it is one of her fire team members. You didn't know that?
Who? Which person is it? Who is it?
Eris Moore.
There you go. Yeah.
Use your words.
Yeah. The bug inside of it is one of her fire team members. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
You sure?
I'm positive.
How sure are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
On a scale of Respawn to Bife, how sure are you?
How sure are you that you're giving out this information to people in the podcast world?
Well, this is how I heard of it.
Oh, so you've heard it from somebody.
Yeah.
So 10 of 10
No,
from Bife?
it was from a YouTuber. It was not Bife. It was the other guy. I can't remember his name. But yeah, he was talking about how some hive were trying to use the ritual, and they screwed up the ritual and ended up turning this guy into a bug, and then Eris Morin stuck the bug inside of a gun so that the guy can have his revenge. That's how it was told to me.
Okay.
By YouTube.
And YouTube wouldn't lie to us.
Yeah.
No, because we're on YouTube. We don't lie.
The internet is infallible.
Exactly.
Obviously.
YouTubers wouldn't lie to you. It just isn't done.
It just isn't done. But yeah, whatever the case may be, I think it's funny that every weapon associated with her has a trapped soul in it. Whether it's, Crota's soul. Is it Crota? Who's inside the D1 gun where it takes your life to shoot extra rounds? What was that called? Everybody wanted it inside the raid.
No time to explain?
No. It was a scout rifle, and you would never have to reload. It would go down to the one round, but every time you fired that one round, it would take your health, but the rounds would be empowered. And you got it from the Destiny 1 raid. I want to say it's Crota, isn't it? Now you're going to make me look it up. Daggone it. Hold on.
I'm not going to make you look up. We're just going to have an awkward silence with some music in between.
No, you guys can keep talking. I can mute my mic while I look it up.
No, that's fine. There's going to be music playing.
Can we put Toll into a gun? Can we put him into a gun to shut him up? Is that an option we have?
Touch of Malice. Boom. That's the one. The Touch of Malice.
Okay.
The little orb has a
I know what it was.
So
I just wanted to draw it out. See how long it was.
So does Crow. Oh my God. Crota's soul. You're messing me up. Shut up.
I know.
So does Crow. That's not even a thing.
Oh, yeah. So apparently Omar Agath, he got his soul sucked out of his body by the hive, and now he's a bug stuck on the crystal powering the machine gun, the xenophage.
Wow. He needs a little bit more light to power that thing.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit more light than you can get from a mosquito or a cockroach or whatever kind of bug he is. Is it too soon to call him a cockroach? Is that offensive?
It's trick or treat time. We're having another fashion show.
You can see where this is going. They want people to buy the Eververse stuff to dress up as spooky skeletons with different things. That's all. And the masks. That's all the reason they're doing this. Now, last time I made a lovely Guardian, covered him in, a good chrome, made effort, right? I bet if I entered him this time, he would get
Did you just
overlooked.
say no, Peroty?
I would get overlooked.
Here's what you need to do. You need to get
Yeah.
the chicken mask on. You need to get your chicken emote. We need to, as a group, go stand somewhere, with our chickens, being a chicken group.
No,
it won last.
that's
It
not
won.
the
It
idea
won
of
a
the
time
fashion
before.
show.
So, This is not a fashion show. Fashion show at lunch. This is not that.
I'm not
This is
happy
not a fashion
with this
show.
version.
Not a
I'm
fashion
not
show.
happy.
This is trick or treating. You're not supposed to be happy. You're British. This is trick or treating. We're not fashion showing. This is a trick or treating. Bungie wants you to create a costume for your guardian and strike a pose in the perfect setting. Snap a screenshot and then play with your shaders, armor combinations, looking for something spooky.
To be happy you're British.
Group participation is encouraged, and then submit your image to the community creations page on Bungie.net.
What?
And they'll tweet their favorites next week and grant winners the Levante prize. Not a fashion show. It's trick or treat. It's spooky. And they say try to scare them if you can. I'm not sure how you can scare them except for possible terrible color combinations. But hey, if you can scare them, knock yourself out. So yeah, they want a fashion. They want a trick or treat. It's on a fashion show. You get the fashion show prize, but it's all about trick or treating. So if you can stand over a pile of bodies with your candy, then there you go. You're good to go.
Some people.
And since 19 will not be participating, someone else has a chance to win now.
Yeah, did you win?
I'm not participating in the rest of the podcast. That's it. I've decided I'm having.
You shouldn't have said British people aren't allowed to be happy, man. You triggered him. It's entirely your fault.
I mean, though,
No,
honestly,
you think you're waiting around to the end of the show to get your guys and your tips and your tricks on me? No, these guys haven't got them written down. I have. So I'm just going to be silent in the corner. Go on, you guys take it away.
No tips and tricks this week.
We're having a good time tonight, then. British dad is on leave? Question mark.
We've broken him.
No, I'm going to stand.
But there's been no sighs. Like I look forward to the sighs, but he didn't sigh. He just said, "I quit," and that's kind of a lame way to go out.
I'm going to shout it if you do something wrong. But I'm yeah.
You're going to shout if you do something wrong, but you're not going to give the tips, tricks, and guides at the end. You quit, man. I mean, only quitters quit. Are you a quitter?
Yes.
Oh, well, damn. Okay, look on the bright side. I didn't say I knew what the bright side was. I just said look on it.
The bright side is there's a Pinnacle hotfix inbound.
Oh, there we go.
So, hotfix 2.6.1.1 is tentatively planned for Thursday, November 7th. We're getting some quality of life fixes, and they're doing some changes to the power leveling in this season. So basically, the dev team says, we're not hitting our goals for availability of weapons and rewards for the Pinnacle level. They're looking to make this a little bit easier. Basically, what they're doing is instead of having like every single piece of armor and weaponry you have to the current level, after this patch goes live, you're going to need to have at least 4 pieces of gear be at the higher level for it to take your average up overall. So that way, once your overall average is up, the pieces you're missing will be easier to obtain. So you'll only need 4 slots to increase your character's overall power average. And again, this is scheduled for the 7th, so that's Thursday. This hotfix is going live. Not Tuesday, Thursday. So as part of this hotfix, they're also adding Season Pass weapons, the Blue Perfect and the Temporal Claws, that's the auto rifle and the machine gun, as possible rewards from the Vex Offensive. Thank God I'm so tired of those Vex Offensive weapons. So after Thursday, these will be available to you when you play the Vex Offensive. And right now you can currently get them from Crucible, Gambit, and Strikes, but they wanted to give you another place to get them. And let's be honest, the Vex Offensive needs more weaponry, the way they just shower it upon you. Also, Panoramics 18 update. This one's for you, buddy. Oh. They've developed a fix for Ashes to Assets, which prevented the Telesto from being the absolute besto. To prevent the Telesto from being the absolute besto, where players could earn their supers more quickly than intended. So they say they've developed a fix. I'm assuming that means that fix is going to be in this fix, but I guess we'll find out. So, Pan, you should have your Telesto back after Thursday of this week. And again, stay tuned for Bungie help for the exact time and date of the hotfix. Again, scheduled for Thursday the 7th. That could change. Because of this patch going live on Thursday, not on Tuesday, Thursday this week, Iron Banner comes around. If you're looking to do your Iron Banner bounties and turn those in, hold those until Thursday, until this patch goes live. It'll help you with your power light progression. So again, Thursday the patch is coming. Not on Tuesday, but Thursday. So if you turn things in on Tuesday or Wednesday, Nitedemon is going to yell at you because you didn't listen to the podcast, and he'll be very, very disappointed in you.
I mean, it's not like he's not already there right now. So, I mean, what are they really losing?
He can get more disappointed. Just wait.
No, he can't.
Explain to Bungie that it means +2 power in every slot, not just the energy slot or the primary slot. We want 2+ energy in various different slots. We don't just slot all our pinnacle weapons and our pinnacle drops. No, I bet they haven't. I tell you what, I'm gone back to red again. I'm angry.
Welcome back to Nitedemon Rants.
I love how you gave him false information and just waited for him to stew long enough to chime in with the correction. I don't know why it's so funny disappointing him, but it is. There's something wrong with me, and I know it. Oh, goodness gracious. Anyway, continue on, Peroty. I look forward to his interjections.
I'm not sure there's any coming back from this, which is good because we're changing the time. So did you guys enjoy your extra hour of sleep last night?
I don't know. I was awake most of the night.
Did you wake up very confused at your clock going, it's not that time. I'm not an hour late for the podcast. We're fine. Things are still good.
I thought you changed your clocks last week.
Oh, no. It was this week. Nope. So yeah, Bungie, points out because this is America and we're dumb and we don't understand how time works. It thinks we can just change it willy-nilly. Mm-hmm. So beginning Sunday, November 3rd, daylight savings times in the United States has ended. It's ended now. We've saved all the daylight. We're now going to bank it up for the long winter ahead. So this means Destiny 2's reset time will change from 9 a.m. Pacific. I'm sorry, we'll change to 9 a.m. Pacific from 10 a.m. So it's moving forward an hour. So whatever your reset time was in your current time zone, it's now an hour earlier than that. I don't know if your time has changed. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. But now things are different. And the thing you think you have an hour left to do, you don't, because reset's going to come an hour earlier now. Because time is dumb. Everything's dumb.
Right.
I have no idea what countries or areas observe daylight savings times, which ones don't. I'm not that dedicated to find out. So again, reset time is now an hour earlier wherever you are. And now does...
Yeah, but you've worked it out for the Iron Banner.
Yeah, I have.
Don't lie.
But do all those but do they all observe daylight savings time? I just assume that everybody does or does not. Also, not apparently I can't spell Sydney anymore. Yeah, I have no idea who observes it and who doesn't. I assume you do, but I didn't know if it was the same date and time. Have you changed your clocks back last night?
No, we just spoke about this. This was the previous week for us. This is what confused me now. You're confusing me even more.
Yeah, so
Bungie confused me, and nobody cares about Australia.
I mean,
exactly. Sorry, Andy. He's
upset me. He's upset with Marmite and Vegemite. Why do you have to even bring that to the table? Why did he even have to start that?
Funny. That's why.
He didn't even need to start that.
This is peak Frozen Clan insider baseball, content.
I'm sorry,
Vegemite and Marmite wars that those of us in the U.S. wake up to with our British and Australian factions going back and forth about the different mites.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
That was the question, wasn't it? An American asked me about Marmite, and the Australian chimes in and went, "This is better." Nobody cares, Andy. Keep your Vegemite to yourself. Nobody asked you the question.
I mean,
do I need to play the shame music again? Do I need to play the shame music again?
Yes.
I will. Don't make me shame you.
No reason not to.
Shame.
Andy's wrong.
Shame.
Vegemite sucks.
Shame. Shame.
Andy's wrong.
Shame.
Vegemite sucks.
Shame.
I mean, he does say Vegemite is a watered down version for wimps. So
no, that's what I said.
Or I'm sorry, you said the Vegemite's a watered down version for wimps. I have no opinions.
I'm just glad that there's another two people in the chat having a slap box that doesn't involve me. Every now and again, it's nice to sit back and watch other people go through it. So yeah, I've been there. I know how it feels. It's your turn.
This is the fun of having an international clan with people from many countries and areas, because they have discussions and debates and raging, slap fights on things you don't even know or care about or have any understanding of. It's wonderful.
Didn't even know it was a thing. Yeah.
There are many mites. And since we have mites, we're going to move on to Iron Frights. Would Nitedemon like to tell us about Iron Banner?
No,
or
he's
is he still sitting in the corner?
He's definitely sitting in the corner. He's got the dunce cap on and everything, dude.
All right, good talk.
Right. Okay. So I can read some stuff. I haven't read anything in a while because I've been.
You can read us about our lovely Iron Banner.
All right. Can you shush?
No.
Fair enough. All right. Iron Banner Control starts November 5th at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, and 2 a.m. Sydney, Australia. Ends November 12th at the same time in your time zone. The time changed in the U.S. on Saturday night because we're dumb and our system is dumb. Earlier this week, Destiny 2 Update 2.6.1 introduced changes to heavy ammo spawning in the Crucible. The following change will also be present within the Iron Banner. Heavy ammo initial spawn time will be 60 seconds, up from 45. Heavy ammo additional spawning changed to every 2 minutes as opposed to 1. Wait until Thursday to turn in the Iron Banner bounty.
We already said all that.
Because that's right. Regicide. If you follow your community news, you know that.
No, just let him carry on, because you know he likes repeating, telling people the same information.
Gothalion.
Mm-hmm. He does. They did also fix the issue with the Iron Banner bounties not resetting daily. So that's also should be working in this Iron Banner until they reset every like 4.25 days or something. We'll see. And again, don't turn them until Thursday.
Don't turn them in until Thursday. Until Thursday, some might say.
And then this next one's for Respawn only.
But this doesn't matter because this was just passed, so there's no point.
Oh, it sure was. You're right. I really should look at the dates of these things. So yeah, you can't fight Gothalion because he's been fought. It's over now. You miss it. It's disappointing for you.
Well, why is that for me specifically? I don't know who that is.
Because it was on PC. That's all. But it already happened. So now we don't even have to care about you or it. Or Gothalion moving to Mixer.
So, charitable charitable endeavors.
There you go. You got it.
It can be an investment. It can be an incentive. It can be anything you like it to be.
This week was also hosted the inaugural Game to Give charity event. I like to read things backwards because I read a lot of manga. So Give to Game. It's just as good as Game to Give, right? Anyway, charity event supporting the Bungie Foundation's iPads for Kids program and Children's Miracle Network hospitals. We've been blown away by the community involvement as we've raised nearly 1 million in donations. 1 million what? Dollars, francs, freaking
koala bears,
pounds, koala bears. Yeah,
Koalas,
1 million.
yeah.
What?
Million.
Do we have 1 million iPods? Because 1 million iPads, is way more than $1 million. Right,
no, it's
so
1 million Vegemite jars. 1 million.
Yes.
1 million Vegemite jars, as opposed to 4 Marmite.
Yeah,
what is
you can say Marmite. Yeah, that's fine.
Marmite. What is it called though?
You know that's what it's called.
1 million in donations from Guardians around the world. This charity is still going, and this weekend continues the event with DCP Live, joined by a special guest, Pete Parsons. That guy sounds like a Marvel superhero. I don't know who he is, but I love the name.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
As a reminder, we have a few incentives for each donation, 100% of which goes to charity. Also, a $10 donation will earn you a new Mist Blossoms emblem. A $50 donation will give you the Mist Blossom emblem and our first ever charity ghost, the Gilded Shell Exotic Ghost. A $100 donation will earn you both items above and enter you to win an item from the Bungie prize pool, which means you don't necessarily get the item. You just entered to possibly win one. So good luck with that. We've been having many more players join in on the event through the weekend, so stay tuned to http://bun.ie/game2give stream for more information. And it's purple. It's pretty. Festival of the Lost, to recap.
So before you go to Festival of the Lost, Pete Parsons is the Bungie CEO.
That's relevant. Festival of the Lost, to recap. A brand...
And there are, since Respawn read you the entire URL, now you can go to it. There's a whole bunch of people doing streams for charity. They make 4-hour blocks. Go hang out with them. Go harass them. Raise money for charity. A lot of them are doing giveaways on their streams because you're watching their money goes to charity. They'll give you something cool too. Go hang out for a good cause. Video games and a good cause are never a bad thing.
And if you can't understand what I said, it's going to be in the show notes. So just go there, click a link, do a stream, make fun of yourself. Everybody loves it. moving on to Festival of the Lost. To recap, skipping that, don't forget to wear your favorite mask when completing activities around the solar system.
You can't read. You can't read to recap and then not recap. That you have to be at least 770 light as a new player, or all veterans player can jump in right away. I
literally just did that. Don't forget to wear your favorite mask when completing activities around the solar system. Wearing a mask is required in order to earn candy and Chocolate Strange coins. Bam! Festival ends at weekly reset on November 19th. Peroty's patch notes preview. That is not me, so you go.
Izanagi's burden. Still a burden.
Still a burden.
Still broken. So they fixed it. And poor Fuzzgo, I was talking with him over the weekend. And he's like, yeah, they fixed it. And then they broke it again. So I still can't get the Izanagi's burden. So
it doesn't count because they broke it differently.
Yeah, they broke it differently now. So specifically, Destiny player support is tracking 2 issues. Players not receiving progress when they redeem Forge keys, and not receiving progress from the Obsidian Crystal received from rare Black Armory bounties. So not only do you have to find a rare bounty, complete it, and turn it in, you then don't get progress for it. So again, they're looking into this again to fix the fix for the Izanagi's burden. It's still a burden. It's still not fixed. They're hoping to push another fix soon, but I haven't seen anything specific about when that fix might be coming. Again, stay tuned to the help forums. Look at Bungie Help. They will let you know when they think they maybe have a fix for the fix for the fix. We'll see how that goes. Again, in addition to the mysterious box quest issues being tracked, players are also seeing intermittent issues with delayed loot drops and or pursuit progression. So if a player is at an activity completion and has not yet received their loot, they should make sure they do not return to orbit early. So wait for the counter to count down and the game to kick you out if you aren't seeing your loot. Also, if you're in the forest and the Cabal Scorpius turret demon falls off the map in the haunted forest, it will not be killed and it won't respawn. You will be stuck there, halting your progress. You'll either have to wait out the remaining time to collect your rewards or return to orbit and restart the activity. So in answer to our question of should you kick things off the map, the turret, don't push it off the map. Otherwise you sit in timeout with British Dad and he just stares and glares at you. British Dad Chad stands above you looking very disappointed at what you've just done.
British Dad Chad.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And following the launch of Destiny Update 2.6.1, there were a number of elevated Anteater, Monkey, and Weasel errors. So again, at this time, they're seeing elevated errors for all those things. They don't say for why, for when, for who, for how. So if you've run into the Monkeys, the Weasels, and the Anteaters in the game, they're looking to those. If you see for something in particular, hit them up on Bungie Help on Twitter or the help.bungie.net to say, hey, here's what I was doing. Here's when I got this error. They're trying to figure out, what exactly is causing these and then how to fix that. Yeah. Those are the bugs we know about. And again, as we mentioned before, momentum control, hammer throwing titans, you get one hammer. That is it. Full stop. No second hammer. You just walk around and go, look, I have a hammer. I have a hammer. See it? See it? It's flamey. It's beautiful. See? And that's been your report this week. Those are the things we've broken. Not fixed, just broken.
Right. Okay, so what do we got next?
We have additional news and information.
Additional news and information and tips, tricks, and guides? What? That can't be right. We're only... Hold on. No, wait. How long is it recording? I can't tell. We're not
long
that
enough
far into the show. We can't be this close to being done. That's not a thing.
We are. There's very little in the 12 this week, and we have no builds, so it's going to be real quick. So, additional news and information, unless Respawn wants to read these.
I can read them. I haven't done a whole lot of reading today. Okay. Cosmo has told us some stuff. These are some of the things he's told us. First of all, the game security team is aware of cheating reports and investigating. Reddit thread. The Glimmer Drops are not underlying cause of performance issues in the Garden of Salvation raid. They are investigating that issue and will let you know as soon as they have more info. Reddit link. Season rank buying going live was unintended consequence of the update yesterday. They are still committed to the plan, underlined, so I guess it's some kind of a link, for purchasing season ranks later in the seasons we communicated previously. These purchases have been disabled with a server-side fix. Reddit thread. Space.
So that was the thing. That was the thing they talked about. There being later in the season if you didn't get to play the whole season, you could sort of buy some ranks to sort of catch up quickly. That's turned off for now because it was causing issues.
Gotcha. So why is it that after the Reddit thread, sometimes there's a number 2 and sometimes there's a number 3 and sometimes there's a number 4? Are those separate links or are they tied to that Reddit thread?
Yes, because it's additional things where Cosmo or DMG or someone has chimed in to
Gotcha.
Either in the same thread or in a different thread. That's why it's a second link.
Gotcha. The lore was added for the raid weapons, but there is a bug where it won't show up in the game. They are currently investigating. Reddit thread. The issue with the Izanagi's quest doesn't recognize that you have an obsidian crystal is being looked into. Twitter thread. Ooh, we are mixing it up. We'll let them know that some players felt that masterworking is too expensive. We'll let the team know that some players feel that masterworking is too expensive. That is a forums thread. Ooh, we are all over the place today.
They are not wrong.
Right? The fact that Xenophage does not do precision damage is not a bug, and we've discussed this, so I'm skipping that. Feedback that Season Pass should give you a discount on all Everrush content has been passed along. I didn't even think about that, but that's a good idea. I like it. Whoever said that, good on you. Cosmo recommends not using obsidian crystals or forge keys until they can put an additional fix for Izanagi's Burden quest. Forum link. They'll let you know when they have more info on when the fix will arrive. Reddit link. DMG had some things to say. Hoping to have more info on Telesto this week. Very helpful. Team is aware of requests to remove... I'm sorry, that was a Reddit thread, by the way. So, hoping to have more info on Telesto this week. Reddit thread. In case that wasn't detailed enough. Team is aware of requests to remove 1 per week restriction on escalation protocol armors. Can't give a timeline, but they've got people eager to tackle the feedback. Reddit thread. Bungie Help has some things for us as well. Unintentional character deaths while trying... Oh my God!
Yeah, they're both already there. If you would have read ahead for 2 seconds, you would have seen that. It's the character death in the Pit of Heresy and the Hammers.
Yes, I see
Hammer
that
Titans
now.
not throwing hammers.
Why are we discussing this twice? Why is that even at the end?
Because you couldn't. In my copy, I changed it because I follow along, with the bouncing ball and sing the song, and also can read ahead of 2 seconds of where I'm speaking. So some of us who have that ability can read ahead and then not say those words because it's not live, and we record this, and then we put it out to the people. And then they can listen to it at their leisure.
But why?
Because I'm trying to make an update to say, I'm trying to make an effort to say when we talk about a topic, mentioning if there's a bug with the topic versus talking about it 2 hours later when people have long since forgotten about it. And now we have no tips, tricks, builds, or guides. So go to YouTube.
Okay.
Search for Destiny 2.
No.
Go to YouTube. Search for Destiny 2.
Made your commitment. That's it.
And then see what's there.
Yes, you're done.
I can't do this. I can't do this to the people.
I
can do it to you two.
Hold on. How do I remove Craig? Craig's not moving for me. Get out of here, Craig.
Leave Craig alone.
No, he has to go away.
Can we kick you out instead so that Nitedemon doesn't go to red? Because for some reason, you being here causes him to go to red. We don't understand why this is.
That's not.
It's totally a thing. Whenever I'm here with him alone, it works beautifully. It's just when you're here.
That makes no sense. If he's the host, I'm not hosting.
No one's hosting. Craig's hosting. Discord's hosting.
And I'm back.
Damn it. Why you don't stop messing about, you two? Stop it. I want to have a conversation with you two.
Yeah,
I'm just muting myself so you can speak. That's all.
Yeah, I'm just muting him too. I mean, me.
How dare you mute yourselves? I want to hear that fan noise. It's very important.
Is that me or is that you this time?
Well,
I can't hear the fan noise today.
Good. I can start a fan if that would make you feel better.
No, it's fine.
So you hear a fan noise coming from my
can. No, nobody hears any fan noises.
Okay. The fan noise has been sacked. We've sacked all those responsible for the fan noise.
I was just checking.
So when I jumped in to Destiny on the reset on Tuesday, I immediately went around to all the different vendors and had a little chat with them. And I thought, oh, this is the same as last year. You went around, you had a chat with them. They gave you some strange coins or they gave you some candy and sent you on your merry way. And what was different was I thought, okay, I'll go and visit Eris, because I remember one year in Destiny 1, if you visited Eris, she gave you a tiny box of raisins. And I thought, They're going to do it again. There's no way they're going to get around it. They're just going to go and do it again. So I went and visited Eris on the moon. And lo and behold, she gives you a tiny box of raisins. But it kind of starts you off on a quest. And I didn't know if you guys were aware of this or not.
No, I have not. I have not spoken to Eris in about a week because she's on a momentum. Completely. Yeah, she's on a momentum control, so we haven't spoken.
Okay. So you have to visit Eris while wearing a mask, apparently. I didn't realize I must have put the mask on anyway. And she gives you the box of raisins. And it basically sends you on this quest to go and visit other vendors on other planets. Each quest will reward you with a different type of candy, which has just been taken to the next kind of quest giver on the journey. So you initially start off with picking up the box of raisins, and in the text it says somebody on the Tangled Shore would be interested in seeing this. So you go and take it to Spider. Spider then asks you to go and do various different things. Once you've done that, you go back to Spider. He gives you the winged chews, which then you take to Mars, and you do the various different bounties on Mars for Anna. She then gives you an unchocolate, which then takes you to Io, and Ashamir gives you things to do. Take it back to him, and he gives you splice drops. Do another couple of things on Nessus for Failsafe, and she'll give you salted sweets, which then you go to the EDZ and see Devram. He asks you to do a couple more things. You get sour engrams. You give those to Sloane on Titan. She asks you to do a few more things. You get some Void Fizz, which then you take back to Eris. She asks you to do a specific dance, and there's 3 different dances that you have to choose from. So if you're an Awoken, an Exo, or a human, there's 3 different dances that will definitely be in your inventory for your character. And then once you've done that, you can use the item, and it gives you a triumph to go with your triumphs for Festival of the Lost, and it'll also store the item back in your inventory for you to use later, or not, as it says on the text for it. But yeah, that was one of the first things I thought of, that in Destiny 1, you visited Eris and she gave you a tiny box of raisins, and it kind of never really went anywhere. At one point, there was a celery stick going round, or I remember in my inventory at one point, there was a drooped or rotten celery stick. Do you remember that, guys?
Yes, I do.
Yep. And it had a whole bunch of fruit. I was halfway to a salad, and then,
a fruit salad.
They fired the writer who was doing that quest line or something, because it never. It's probably still sitting there in my inventory today.
Yeah, I had a sneaking suspicion that it would be back, but nobody seems to have covered it in a YouTube video to say, oh, there's this extra little quest. I mean, you get chocolate coins and candies from the different vendors visiting them on different planets. It'll only take you like 20 minutes. So the things they ask you to do is like go and kill like 10 Taken and 10 Vex. Very simple. Go to the 2 lost sectors, you're done, and you're out of there. It's only simple things like that, but it's a little bit of fun to do for the next couple of weeks if you want more stuff. Also, what I found interesting was a couple of videos from Cheese Forever. He's got an AFK coin farm. So if you want to just leave your console on and do the AFK forge farming that we used to do previously, put your light down to 750 and you go into the forges. Apparently you get 1 coin for every failure that you get. So Cheese Forever has got a video on that. He's also got another video on free candy and coins that you can collect from the tower. So the locations for those.
Just don't get it from Nitedemon. I'm telling you, don't do it.
He's also got a video on the nightmare of Randall the Vandal. So anybody from Destiny 1 will remember Randall
I did
the
see
Vandal.
that. That was so freaking funny, dude.
So go and watch that. That's a bit of fun.
Right.
He then got another video for the easy double kills for the mountaintop. If you are grinding out for the double kills and the triple kills for the mountaintop.
Now he's got the video.
It's momentum control. Go play momentum control.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And
take the spider bot gun with you. You should be fine.
Yeah, the game gave me a colony this week. It's like, here, you should use this. This will help you.
Take my suggestion. Do it. Go.
So Cheese has also got 3 videos on the Tanix, Zydron, and Master Ghoul and Nightmare hunts. 3 cheeses for those. So go and watch those. Those are quite interesting to go and do if you're having a bit of issue with those. He's also got a tip or a cheese for the Pit of Heresy if you're doing a solo run, or if you're just doing a run with a team. Then there's a ball duplication cheese. There is a part that you need to dunk some balls in it. So there's a cheese for that. In the video, he goes over the details of what you need to do and how you need to do. So it's very useful for anyone that is trying to do it solo, apparently. Glitch Tutorial also has a skip the first encounter guide for the new dungeon. So if you're interested in that, we will link the video for that. So sticking with the dungeon guides, we have Planet Destiny has done a guide, a full dungeon guide for you. So if you're interested in watching that, and Ninja Pup's a guide on the dungeon as well. But on his video, he says that shows you the location of hidden chests as well. So that might be something interesting that for you guys to go and find and do. Also, with Planet Destiny this week, they've released a breakdown of the 4 encounters for the raid. So each video, they've done 4 videos for each encounter. If that's something you're looking for to do with your teams, or even if you just kind of brush up to kind of going with LFG groups, they've got each encounter broken down for you for that. Ninja Pups also has all 20 necrotic cipher locations. There's a video for that. Esoteric has all 9 rabbit locations. So those I think are also worth lore pages, and for the rabbits, I believe there's an emblem for collecting it like there was for the hidden cats in the Dreaming City. Then Ninja Pups, going along with his guide that he did a couple of weeks ago that we highlighted for the 9 dead ghosts to be found on the moon. There is a final 10th ghost location, and I believe that is inside the dungeon, and he has the location of that in a video for you. Houndish has done a really good guide on the Xenophage quest. So if anybody is looking to get that before it's buffed, that's there by Houndish.
Thank you, Nitedemon, for putting out a video under your alter ego for us.
It's not my alter ego.
Yay. No, it doesn't sound. It's his mild-mannered something.
He doesn't sound anything like me.
Sounds exactly like you. If you turn the volume all the way down, you sit a few feet away from the computer, and you concentrate really, really hard, it's uncanny. It's absolutely uncanny.
Right. So now I've lost my train of thought now.
I have succeeded. Oh yeah.
No.
Yes, I did.
Cool Guy has a Braytech Werewolf review and guide. So he goes over the possible uses for the Braytech Werewolf.
Killing things.
No, but I mean...
Killing things.
Because at the moment it doesn't seem to be... Okay.
Doesn't seem to be I mean, I've used mine a little bit. Doesn't seem to be a top tier. I'm not putting anything down in exchange for it. So Cool Guy has a guide on resilience in PvP and why it matters. Now, watching the video, I mean, it's a little bit contradictory to the MTASH video that was a couple of weeks ago with resilience, mobility, and recovery. But if you watch the video, it kind of shows you that you still need a bit of resilience to a certain point to get away with some damage from some weapons, and how he shows you, like, he goes through different archetypes of hand cannons, pulse rifles, shotguns, things like that, just to show you what you can get away with at what damage resilience. So it's quite an interesting watch, and definitely well worth watching if you are speccing towards going into Crucible about what you can actually, go up against. So also, Cool Guy's put out a Vigilance Wing is not buffed video, and he's done a lot of testing over the last couple of weeks, and he was saying that it was something that caught his attention a couple of weeks back, and he wasn't sure that anybody had kind of put a video out about this, because we all initially, even himself, put a video out saying that it was buffed and it got the intentional buff of all the other archetypes of that range of pulse rifle, but it turns out that it didn't kind of get it, but it's still good in some ways. It's a bit hard to describe. It's one of those videos you're going to have to watch to understand why it's still good, but it's not buffed with what it should have been buffed, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I'd recommend going watching that. It's one to...
If you like wasn't buffed, but because other things were nerfed, it feels like it was buffed.
No, it was meant to be buffed, and Cool Guy says that himself. He even put out a video saying that it was buffed, and this is the reasons why. But then in further testing and seeing other YouTube videos and speaking to other people, that he's now come across this piece of information that he needs to get out to everybody else just to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, so it should have been, but wasn't actually in testing.
Yeah. I think it was a bit like the Crimson, where everybody thought that because that hand cannon was going to get touched with all the different buffs, that it was going to be the god roll. I mean, it's still a really good roll to have in certain circumstances, but it's not as good as everyone thought it was going to be because of the damage fall off. So it's very similar to that kind of thinking. Also, Rick Kakis HD, has done a best altar and dungeon weapon PvE and PvP god roll guide for the weapons that are available. And what I didn't realize was, to open the dungeon, you have to go and do the Altars of Sorrow, which is up in the top right-hand corner of the moon. I believe it's where you could find those nightmares. The nightmare, those summoning pads with the ogres all just like sitting on there and the little red balls. Now it's actually a proper kind of world event, like escalation protocol. So to open the dungeon, you have to go and complete at least a wave 3, which isn't too bad. I jumped in and did a complete wave. I think up to the final boss. There was quite a lot of people there. With that, there is one big boss that spawns at the end, and the key to it is apparently there's nightmares that spawn, and you get 4 that spawn all at the same time. And if they manage to make it to their little portal, they take off, I think it's 10 seconds per nightmare that go into this portal, and that's 40 seconds that you suddenly then lose from DPS in the boss. And apparently it's quite easy to take down the boss. So the best thing to do is, once you've DPS the boss, everybody kind of turn around and kill those ogres that kind of spawn in, then go back to killing the boss. Also with that, if you have somebody, at least if you're not doing it, if you're in with randoms and blueberries, make sure that you've got enough time on the timer. So if you see that everybody else is doing DPS or everybody else is taking care of the ogres, make sure that you can kind of do something to help by taking out the extra adds, because the extra adds add 1 second on per kill. So if you've got something like a risk runner and you've been scratched by a thrall, you can take out quite a lot of them and build up a lot of time for your team or the blueberries that are in that area to help then get the boss down. So the kind of the key for that is to make sure that even if you're not a team, just make sure that you're aware of what everybody else is doing in that area. So if there is somebody or 2 people that are kind of taking care of a lot of the ads as they're spawning, then you go and focus on taking care of the nightmares and making sure they're DPS'd and taken care of. Because I think you have to kill 5 nightmares to move on to the next stage. And at certain stages,
it does change, because it's like 5, 6, 7. So it's like every stage you have to kill 1 more nightmare, and then it splits it off between multiple altars. Like instead of just focusing on this one altar where the nightmares are coming out, now you might have to focus on 2 or more altars. So yeah.
And then there's a section, isn't there, where you can't damage the witches. There's a couple of witches that are kind of circular. You have to kill the knights with the swords, then use the swords to then damage the witches before you can then carry on. As well as all still trying to focus on taking out the ads and make sure there's no nightmares heading towards these different portals. So it is a kind of cluster of what's going on. But if you're kind of aware of what everybody else is doing, I mean, that's what I was doing. I was focusing on the ads more than the DPS of the boss. I mean, when the boss came up, fired all my heavy and then just went back and focused on the ads, because I was thinking, if we've got more time, we could have the worst set of blueberries taking down this boss. We could have all the nightmares going to all the portals, but we've got like 5 minutes left on this clock, so it really doesn't matter. So yeah, I mean, that was good fun. So with that, apparently there are 3 bosses that you can get, and they rotate daily with each reset. And I think it was the Gatekeeper or something, the Gate Lord, I can't really remember. And you get 1 specific weapon to drop from each of those. And I believe there's the shotgun. I got the rocket launcher from the guy that I did.
So the rocket launcher is probably this week. That's unfortunate.
No, it's daily. It's a daily rotation.
It's daily. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you said weekly.
No, it's daily rotation. So if you fought somebody yesterday, you still have a chance of getting those weapons from Altar of Sorrows. So also with that, like I said, that's the way to open the dungeon. I think you have to go to at least a tier 3. Once you've done that, you'll then be able to go back to Eris to then unlock the dungeon. But apparently, if you're in a fire team with somebody that's already unlocked the dungeon, you can just go straight into the dungeon without having to worry about doing the altars. But
Correct.
you kind of want to do that. It's a bit of fun. There's more rolls to get for different weapons.
That's right. It's just another way to get weapons if you've already done like your weekly dungeon or whatever.
Apparently, there are a few good god rolls, which is what Kakis has done. He's put a guide for the PvE and PvP versions of those weapons. And then EK has got another video on a full court grenade launcher god roll suggestions. And he's done a bit more testing on grenade launchers, especially with the full court perk. And he's kind of changed what he thought would be the best god roll. And he explains his reasons why he's kind of changed his thinking in that.
Full court's the perk that, like, the further the thing is from you, like the farther the grenade travels, the more damage it does, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and he initially said that you want something with velocity on it, but then thinking about it, if it travels faster to the target, then you're not going to do as much damage as if it travels slower to the target. But there are a couple of other kind of perks and masterworks that you can kind of put on it to make it more of a god roll. I mean, I've got one with blast radius, which is probably better than velocity. And that's it for my my guides this week. There's not really any kind of... I mean, there are a few builds out there, but I'll try and pick up those for next week, because I think there's a lot of already good builds that we've highlighted, and you've got Respawn's one from the beginning of the show, if you're a hunter, that you could then try in the Haunted Forest. Then you've got your momentum control that you can go in, do your Randy's throwing knife. You've also got your Iron Banner. Don't forget the quests for those that you can kind of do, and then turn those in after the reset on Thursday, hopefully, if you are already at 950 to get the +2 on your Pinnacle gear. So yeah,
I think we've given the people plenty of builds to look at in the last couple of weeks. Again, if you don't find one you need, go search YouTube. There's plenty more out there. Or just go screw around and going, hey, here's the thing that synergizes with this other thing. Let's go play with it and see what happens.
Yeah, and my build works really well for warlocks that use the grenade that you have to eat. You know what I mean? The consume. My build works really well with that as well too, because you get the melee and the grenade back really, really fast. So if you pair that with like the Nezarec Sin, it's a phenomenal build too. So I haven't used it on a Titan Void class. I don't know that much about the Titan Void class, but if you need your grenade and or melees back really quick and somehow they synergize into your super, even better. But yeah, so basically any Void subclass will work with the build that I gave you. So have fun with it.
Yeah. It's like on the Titan when you're throwing that shield, that uses a grenade. So the quicker you get your grenade back, the faster you can throw your shield.
But if you're in your super, you can't utilize your weapons. So
yeah, details.
It matters, man.
Can't utilize your hammer sitting in momentum control either. So,
but yeah. Anyway, so actually, momentum control. Didn't Bungie say that your heavy weapons are going to do more damage to people with supers in momentum control?
I think
Wasn't
all
that
weapons
supposed to be a thing.
Yeah, honestly, I can't even tell, because people are getting shot out of supers with Jade Rabbits left and right. So it really doesn't matter. I mean, when they said everything in your inventory is a competitor or whatever, they were right. There is no bad weapon. The only bad weapon you're using is one you're not firing.
See, and that's why I brought it up, because like for me, like I was unloading on people with like heavy machine guns and things like that while they're in a super, and they would still kill me. And I'm like, I thought weapons did more damage. You know, this Striker Titan started coming at me from halfway across the map, and I was shooting him with my freaking 21% delirium until I ran out of ammo, and he's still just trucking right along. I'm like,
Striker Titan, Striker Titan, Arc Strider, and Spectral Blades are the three I've actually seen most often, and are just running people down. All three of those classes are just destroying everyone.
That's why I felt like it wasn't necessarily true. I was like, Bungie, you lied to us again. What the hell, man?
Well, I mean, easier, but also, I mean, it's still a super. Your super is still a super. I don't know. Grab your Jade Rabbit next time, see if you can kill him that way. Or just, be a hunter and dodge out of his way, and then with an arc battery, and you won't matter.
A weapon is so bad.
Oh, it's. See, I'm enjoying it so much right now, but I have to remember it won't be good after this. I'm really enjoying it right now, but it's like, while it's like a 202 headshot or whatever, I can murder people right now, but after that, not so much anymore.
Yeah. And if you want all the information on the Iron Banner quest steps and things like that, we have got our episode 38, if you want to go back to that and listen to that, for anything to do with the Iron Banner and the Iron Banner quest steps.
Which they
Yeah, what he
say are
said.
fixed. So we'll see what else they've broken. Is that it for the week? Anybody have anything else?
I think I'm okay. I think I'm good.
Nitedemon, anything else you'd like to add now that you're green for the moment?
Any more sighs? Any more disappointing words?
No, I'm
There you
happy
go.
now. I'm happy now. We're all green. We're all happy.
Excellent. Good job. Good job, Discord, getting green right at the end of the show.
It's because we were talking about getting rid of it. It's like, no. You should keep me. I'm good.
We're so good. We're
See?
so good.
Look what I can do. Look what I can do. Please don't leave me. It's a little too close to home for me.
And now we're going to leave you. So thank you for joining us. Your Titans this week have been Peroty and Nitedemon. Your hunters, no one responds in real life.
Woo woo.
You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. You can hit the show up on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram or on YouTube or really anything with a social media presence. You can join the Frozen Clan at join.frozen.party. That's Frozen with a 0. Although we may be full again, so go join the Guardian Hub or go find those guys who are ready with Respawn and go join their clan instead. It sounds like way more fun.
Oh my God.
We're now on Deezer.
Oh yeah, we're now on Deezer, which is a thing I didn't even know existed. Apparently, Deezer is the parent company of Stitcher, so we're there. So if you're looking for the Destiny soundtrack there, listen to our podcast instead. It's much better. You can find your favorite Guardians on Xbox Live or Respawn on PC. You can watch the show on YouTube, listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and everywhere fine podcasts are sold, including Deezer. We leave you fighting the eternal struggle between Child and Alexa. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Shame.
Andy's wrong.
Shame.
Vegemite sucks.
Shame. Shame.
Andy's wrong.
Shame.
Vegemite sucks.
Shame.